Hey everyone, it's Seth Rudetsky. My hair's out of control. I've got to set it. And here's the amazing Dodie Pettit. Hey! Thank you. How to rhyme it. Okay, so Dodie, we're going to talk about your career in just a second, but I want to first say what we're going to talk about, which is, Kevin Gray starred in King and I opposite Donna Murphy. He was also a Phantom, but he passed away very young. How old was he when he passed away?
He was 54.
Oh, so depressing. And you guys were married for how long?
21 years, but we were together about 25.
How did and we'll talk about this. So first of all, I want to promote the CD, and then we'll come back to the CD. But what is the CD and what is it for?
Okay, the CD is called the Kevin Gray Broadway's Tribute CD, Forever Always. And after he died so suddenly, the Broadway community got together. Everyone was as shocked as I was. And there was a memorial service for him at the Majestic Theater, hosted by Hal Prince. And there was at least 150 of his Broadway colleagues on stage singing. So we thought that afterwards we would make a CD of as many of his friends, and there were so many that wanted to sing. We've got over 150 people on this, 11 Phantoms, 8 Christines, and 150 other of the different shows that he was in. He was in Phantom, Saigon, King and I. He was in Lion King.
Hopefully there are no Megs.
Jekyll and
Where
Hyde,
in the
blah, blah.
world have you been? Anybody back me up on the bad singing of Meg? Okay, go on. Sorry.
So anyway, all these wonderful people, it was very cathartic for all of us to get together. There was lots of tears, lots of laughter in the recording sessions, and everybody sang for free.
I love that. I know it well.
Yeah.
And now we buy the CD, where's the money going?
It's going to the Kevin Gray Foundation.org, but specifically to 2 different charities that were raised in his name at Duke University and the Hart School to go to musical theater students' scholarships.
That is so great because, musical theater major is really kind of a recent thing. So it's really still got to be developed. It's not like, piano major or, it's been around for 100 years. It's really like around 30 years old. So this kind of money could really help. So Hart School is a great school. It's at Hart. And what's the other school?
Duke, where he went to school. But the Hart School was where Kevin was a professor for the last 2 years of his life. So that's why we have some Hart students on this CD as well, because they're singing One Day More. And they were his last class, and he was coaching them on that.
Oh,
so
I
it's
love
very heartfelt.
It's really fantastic.
Yeah.
So Kevin Gray was really a big Broadway star. So wait, what were the shows again? He was in Phantom, King and I.
King and I, Miss Saigon, which he did over a period of 15 years. He did over 1,000 performances of each of these.
Was he half Asian? What was his nationality?
His mother was born in Shanghai, and his father was Russian Jewish descent. So he was really a mutt. And nobody could really figure out what he was,
Yeah, he's perfect for
he could play both sides. He was in Titanic playing a Scottishman, and he was, I'll never forget when he joined Phantom, and I looked at him and I said, Raoul, a Frenchman? Here is this dark-haired guy who was replacing,
And he sounds amazing.
Right.
So I know that you guys were together for so long. Did you guys meet on a musical or in the dance world?
We met. I was in the original production of Phantom with Michael Crawford and Sarah Brightman, blah, blah.
Any stories you want to tell? Any screaming fights backstage?
Not between them, but when Kevin joined the show, he joined as Raoul. And I was a ballerina in the ballet chorus. And
are you a dancer?
I am a dancer.
That's what she says.
An ex-ballet dancer.
Yes. Okay, so wait, so you were in the corps, and then what happened?
I was in the corps, and he joined to replace Steve Barton, who was the original Raoul. And I was walking across the stage, and he was rehearsing with Denny Barry, our stage, our dance captain. And he was rehearsing the masquerade number. And I looked at him, and I came in a little bit early. And the way he used to tell the story was he turned around, and Denny said, Dodie, what are you doing here so early? I had come in early that day, and he looked at me, and he said, oh, my God, not you, not now. And
wait, why? What the hell?
He said he knew it was love at first sight.
But wait, why not you, not now? Why
I
not
don't
yes
know
you,
why
yes
he
now?
Said, I know.
Why the negative spin on it?
Well,
To
he
my
had
mother.
just been off a divorce. Maybe he wanted to be single for a little while, and
I
then he
see.
saw me, and that was it. I'm telling you, He followed me around backstage. I had never seen Raoul backstage in the performance before, but every time I walked a corner, there he was going, "Hi, how are
That's
you?"
hilarious. Bro was always in the
Hi.
dressing room. That's hilarious.
That's right.
Took over.
Would you like to go out after and get a cup of coffee? Oh, would you like to? And I'm going, what are you doing here?
Well, why didn't you immediately say yes?
Kevin was so dashing and so like winning and everything, and I thought, what's he doing? Is he playing me? I thought he was a playboy. So I kept saying no. The story is I kept saying no for 6 weeks. I kept saying no until he got kind of pissed off. And then he called me to his dressing room. He said, "You, come to my dressing room after the show."
Oh.
And I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to lose him. What's going on? I went up there. I opened the door, and there was this beautiful Asian girl sitting there. So then I thought, well, he really is a playboy. I don't get it. And he said, "Listen, I've been asking you out for 6 weeks now, and I'm not going to ask you out anymore. But I know that we're going to be spending the rest of our life together. And so it's on you."
First of all, I'm obsessed. I've heard the story so many times that people really know they're going to marry. How did he know so certain?
I don't know. I'm telling you, he was extraordinary. He was very
And then what finally made
ESP.
you, was that the comment that made you go, okay, we can finally
Yep.
go out? Really?
Yep. The next Sunday, I asked him out.
You broke up with Michael Crawford and you asked him out?
Michael was a very funny guy. Did you know
Well, he
how
began
funny
as a
he was?
comedian. I
Oh
never
my
met him, but I
God.
knew he began as he was Cornelius, right? He was Cornelius.
He was hilarious. I wasn't
yeah,
ready for
Cornelius.
that. I thought I was ready for this stern
Nighttime.
phantom. He's like, "Hi, how are you?" He was cut up backstage all the time.
He was during Phantom, really? I figured he'd be all serious backstage.
Well, he was kind of serious, but when we were broken in rehearsal and hanging out, he would always come over to the chorus people and hang out and talk. In
How
the beginning,
nice.
anyway.
And I love that you began as a ballet dancer, but then turned to Broadway. Did you also, wait, I'm looking at all
Yeah,
these
I
fun
was.
credits.
I was in ballet company till I was about 30. And I didn't really care about being on Broadway.
Really?
But some of my friends, funnily enough, BB Newirth and I were in ballet company together in
from
New
Princeton.
Jersey. In Princeton. And she got in Broadway show before I did. And I remember coming to see her with my mom in Chorus Line. It blew me away. I was like, oh, my God, that's BB, because I knew her when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. We were doing Nutcracker together and everything.
And then when she was 20, she was going on for Sheila, who by the way was supposed to be 30, which is hilarious. Like even then, she was playing a 50-year-old. Like she's always playing older.
Totally blew me away. And so my first audition was for Cats on Broadway. And so
Oh.
I called BB up and I said, "What do I do? I've never been to an audition before." And she says, "Well, I already auditioned for that, but let me tell you, knock your face up," which means wear a lot of makeup.
Really?
So I went and I auditioned for that, for the White Cat. I got in a year later.
So you did Cats also. You had to start singing because
Broadway.
ballet people don't really sing. You had to sing.
That's why I got in, because I've been singing since I was 12 too.
Oh, so you always had a voice. And
I
did
always had a
did you also do a chorus line ever?
Yes, I did. In fact, Kevin and I did Chorus Line. I did Cassie and he did Zach.
Oh, the non-dancing track, as we say.
Yes.
How fabulous.
Oh, he hated learning the choreography. He said, "Oh, I don't think I can do this." We did it with Bjork Lee in a regional production.
Yes, I love Bjork.
Yeah.
Now, in Phantom of the Opera, they do have to dance a little bit, and I used to play those rehearsals. There's nothing more devastating than watching people that have only done opera their whole life learn the choreography for Masquerade.
Oh.
It's around 6 hours of, no, that's your right foot. No, that's not your left. That is your right foot. So how, did you ever see an opera person fall down the stairs? Like, what happened during that show? 'Cause it's pretty devastating.
No, but there were a lot of mishaps in that show. I mean, sometimes, the boat wouldn't go.
Oh, yeah, I heard that when a taxi would go by, the taxi radio controls would affect the radio control of the boat, and Howard McGillen would say he'd have to get out, stand in the quote-unquote water, which is really called the stage, and just, take Christine out and just, walk to his lair because the boat would just stop moving.
And very common, the lasso at the end.
Yes.
Sometimes that wouldn't come down, or it would break too soon, and Raoul would have to fall to the floor. And in fact, there's a YouTube clip, believe it or not, of me and Kevin doing Phantom, because I became the Christine understudy, and I went on with him
Oh, my God.
as Christine. And there's actually a YouTube clip called the lasso fault, and that one, Keith Bruderball had to fall on the ground because the lasso broke that
Oh, my
time.
God, it literally
So
ruins the whole
that's-
tension.
Yeah, and so the Raoul's would be wiggling around on the floor and trying to make it look good.
Wait, but I'm obsessed that you're a trained ballet dancer. You could also do Christine, because usually the Christines always fake the ballet. So did you do it sur le point? Were you on point when you did Christine?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
impressive.
well, because I was in the ballet chorus, so I did Christine on point, too. But
Brava.
it took a long time for me to learn Christine, and I studied hard for it. Yes.
So glad. Okay, so where do we get this Kevin Gray CD, which is going to support these great musical theater programs? Where do we get
Log into kevingrayfoundation.org.
How do you spell Gray? 'Cause it's a trick.
Gray, as in
G-R-A.
opposed to EY.
Right.
And you can get this hard copy, which is a beautiful copy, and it's a nice keepsake because it's got all his pictures in
Yes,
it.
great photos.
And it has a beautiful 16-page booklet in here, but wait, there's more, of all the performers. And I know that you know all these performers from Lion King: Hugh Panaro, Rebecca
great voice.
Luker, Norm Lewis, Howard McGillen,
Chris Groendahl.
Chris Groendahl, how
Basically
many?
everybody that's ever been on Broadway.
Terry Bibb.
Brava.
And we can go on and on. He worked with 6 different Christines, so even if a person didn't know Kevin Gray or hadn't seen him, they would enjoy this CD because it's
a
really
million
a
Broadway people are on it.
retrospective of the mega musicals. And not only that, I'm really proud to show some of these performers and record them on a disc.
Because a lot of them also are replacement people. Like, there's
A
no
lot of them
recording of
are.
Rebecca Luker doing Christina because she's replacement. So all these great people that have gone into shows and never gotten an actual recording of them being in those
Never.
shows.
And we recorded them with the Broadway conductors and with full orchestra.
Yes,
Do you
finally.
know what our biggest download is? Rebecca Luker and Hugh Panaro singing All I Ask of You.
Because they both
There is
played
no
the parts.
recording of that.
Right, exactly. That's what makes it so crazy with Broadway. They have great replacements. They don't come out with new recordings.
That's
so
right.
exciting. So it's this Kevin Gray CD, and we'll go out. Who are the 3 Phantoms singing together? Who are the 3 Phantoms singing?
Kevin used to do a wonderful 3 Phantom concert tour called the 3 Phantoms, and their finale was the music of the night done in a trio, and it's exquisitely beautiful. So what we did was Kevin had a solo CD of him singing Music of the Night by himself, and Chris Groenendahl and Craig Schulman came in and they laid his vocals over it after
Nice.
Kevin had passed. And they're so together, they only had to do it twice and they got it perfect. They sang
love
along
it.
with Kevin.
Okay, so we're going to go out, play that. You can get the CD once again. It's KevinGray.com, right?
KevinGrayFoundation.org.
Kevin Gray. Okay, I got nothing right. Kevin Gray Foundation, which I'm wearing right now, .org.
But you'll find it, you just put Kevin Gray CD in there and it'll pop up forever or always. You'll find
And it helps musical theater. So let's have a listen to it. And peace out, Dodie. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Music shall caress you. Hear it, feel it, secretly possess you. Open up your mind, let your fantasies unwind in this darkness which you know you cannot fight. The darkness of the music of the night.